it was just like really laid back, like, I don't know, not like a hangout hostel, you know, but I don't know. It's just, anyway, he's like, yeah, call me tomorrow, we hang out. So I call him tomorrow, or I think it was that night we hung out. And he had finagled together all these people to hang out, man. This chick from Tyler, Texas, whose uncle was whose aunt was Queen of the Rose Festival in Tyler. My dad was King of the Rose Festival, and my dad's dad was King of the Rose Festival, so that was pretty trippy. But anyways, her and some other chick, she's like studying law school, she's like intern or something in that town, and then Hagen, German, and then like some Kosovar named Doubt. And so then we went to the disco, had some beers, and then the next day Doubt and I hung out, because Hagen, Mr. Networker, hook this guy up with that guy, was like, yeah, Doubt, called Doubt tomorrow, so I hung out with Doubt. And so I hung out with Doubt at the Kosovar all day, walking around all over, and Doubt was really, really friendly, really talkative. Gave me the tour of all of Pristina. We went into and he's all talking about girls the whole time. He's 25 years old, and all these guys are like totally into girls, but he likes to play hard to get with the girls. He's like, yeah, I knew this one like American girl, she was here, and I called her, sent her a text, and I go, yeah, I don't know, he was just really funny. He's like, yeah, Kosovar men have to act hard to get because all the Kosovar women are horny, it's like, so then you have to act hard to get so that you're more, it's funny guy. But yeah, he showed me, and then he took me to this other museum where they went into the museum, but he couldn't go because he didn't want to take his shoes off. But I went in there, and yeah, the guy gave me the tour. There's like 400 different ethnic Albanian dresses that they had, all organized. And then they have like, I went into another museum where they had all these ethnic Albanian like figurines from 4,000 years ago, and then they have written in these big words on the wall like, oh, but we're trying to get back all of our thousands of ethnic Albanian artifacts stolen from the Serbians. They're now in Belgrade, and Doubt was telling me that he grew up in some village, small village, I don't know, 30 or 50 miles from Pristina or something, and he said that he was very it wasn't fun growing up with the Serbian police. He was very afraid of the Serbian police as he was growing up, and that's all he really said. But I mean, yeah, but then like Hagen like has me hang up with this other guy who's like on there's all these NGOs, non-government organizations, and he's on one, leading one, trying to get and he's really charismatic, older guy, like talking, trying to get the Albanians and the Serbians to get along with each other. And he's saying that like there'd be guys in the same office building, who are supposed to be friends, but they don't talk to each other just because one guy's Serbian and one guy's Albanian. Like the Serbians, I guess, are really sore against the Albanians because, and vice versa. I don't know, but that was interesting. And Hagen was really interested and, really jived up about it. He was there for some like master's thesis of some political something or other. But yeah, but anyways, all the Kosovars were really, really excited. Anyways, then I rode my bike and towards Macedonia, and I see all these signs for all the bridges I went over, but they have weight limit for the car and then the weight limit for the tank. So man, kind of brings home they were at war. So then I go into Macedonia, I went to Skopje, and I could not buy a pump anywhere in Pristina. I mean, Pristina is like third world. Jam-packed with people everywhere. Young people, really smiley, happy people, but people everywhere. No room in the roads because there's all this construction going on. Tiny little kiosks all over the place. I don't know, just weird, just a jumble fuck. But yeah, I couldn't find a pump anywhere there, so I had to like get it pumped up at to the proper pressure. It wasn't the proper pressure, but it was okay pressure, and I had to just cross my fingers because I only had like 65 miles to ride to get from Pristina to Skopje. So I'm like, all right, fucking don't get a flat, dude, because I don't have a pump. So I ride, and I'm just outside of Skopje. Fucking get a flat. Of course I get a flat. No pump, you're gonna get a flat. So I'm like, fuck. So I stick my thumb out. Nobody wants to pick me up. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I guess I'll just have to walk all the way into Skopje. I don't know how far it is. And I go, and then finally I go into some like gas station, and they were able to pump it up a little bit, the same way that the other guy did, with some like little rubber tube. And then I was able to ride into Skopje, and I wasn't that far outside of Skopje. Then I tried to go to some hostel, but then I found another hostel, and this is a really cool hostel. This is the first hostel that was like a hangout hostel, where like everybody, you know, you have no choice but to every night just party with all the other people there, you know, because it's like hangout area, boom, you know what I mean? So I was there like 3 nights, and they had like this big festival there, and so I saw lots of live acts and stuff, and then I rode my bike from there. I was gonna try to ride from Skopje to Tirana in one day, and I started pretty early at like 8:30, and I went over this big pass and then down, but then I got this flat, but I had 2 pumps, so I could fix it, but I think I when I was there, I had forgotten to fix the holes in my tubes. So I had to fix all these holes, and I put a tube in that like had holes that I didn't realize it had holes. So then I had to put it in again, and then I had to patch them, and it ended up taking me 2 hours to fix a flat. And then I rode over another thing, and then I got another flat, and I was having problems with that too, because it was like bad tubes or like bad patchwork or something like that. Just bad luck, and that took like another hour. And then I rode into Albania, and as soon as I got in Albania, the roads got bad. Albania is like the third world country of Europe. It's really poor, because they had this fucking dictator there until like for like 40 years, until 85 or something, who like was really paranoid against America and put all these pillboxes all over, like 10,000 pillboxes all over the coast, preparing for a possible invasion by America. I mean, but like, yeah, but the roads were really bad, bumpy. I lost a water bottle. You know, I didn't realize I lost it until it was too late. Bumpy as fuck. And then, yeah, it just got too dark, so I didn't make it in there. Oh yeah, but I took a wrong turn. But all these guys, they told me the right way to Tirana was this way, but I think beforehand, they didn't tell me that beforehand there's another road. So anyways, I went the wrong way. I went way up north, and I had to camp out on some village side thing. But then I rode in the next day, and I rode into town and went into Tirana, and I ended up staying in Tirana 6 nights. That was like the longest time I had ever stayed in a place. I think I was in Athens for a long time, but yeah, I was in Tirana 6 nights. Because the first night, well, there was like, that was a really cool hostel, because there was like, it's called the Tirana Backpackers Hostel. It was like the only hostel in Tirana, Albania. And it was like this outside, you know, really cool temperate climate, outside area where you could buy beers and, what's that, rakia stuff. So you could just party all night and cook your own food on this outside place. And there was the girl who was manning the place, who lived there, who worked there, Malvina, who's 21, who's like really, really cool. Perfect English, and like, anyways, yeah, I was hanging out with her, and like we became friends, and she she started giving me like all these Thai massage moves, like massaging me the first night I was there. And so anyways, the next day I went over with this other American guy, and she took us, and we went and hiked this mountain, and we had goat cheese and goat cheese meal from the goats that was there, and there was a dog that was there who was like her dog for like 4 years or something, and like salad, and it was really good. And then rode down, and so I decided to stay another day. See, I wasn't going to stay that day. No, see, because I stayed one day to do the tour of Tirana. So I did the tour of Tirana and tried to fix my rack, and that's when the guy in Albania fixed my rack, and you know, didn't want to pay me, didn't want to charge me, but he actually fucked up my rack. He put the wrong screw in, which de-threaded it. Which, anyways, I did the tour of Tirana, rode around, saw the museum, you know, but it wasn't really that much to see. It was kind of a, you know, it's a city under construction, so to speak. But But anyways, but there was good food right next door. But anyways, I decided another day to stay another day to climb the mountain, and then I decided to stay another day after that to give her a Thai massage. I wanted to give Malvina a Thai massage because I liked her, and she had been a professional massage, but she was self-taught on the beach, and I wanted her to, you know, I wanted to help her out and show her some moves. So stayed another day, and then I think I stayed another day because I couldn't get up in time, so I just hung out with her all day, and then I tried to leave that another day, but I just out of town, and then my rack like fell off, and I couldn't fix it because that guy screwed it up by putting the wrong screw in. So I rode back, and then the guy who works at the hostel helped me fix it, and that was really nice of him for like hours, and that was cool. And then I hung out with Malvina another day, and so I was there 6 days, 5 days, 6 nights. It was cool because I get to hang out with Malvina. And so yeah, then I rode off the next day, and I rode. Malvina was saying you're not supposed to drink the tap water, and I filled my water bottles up with tap water, and I rode, and I felt pretty good, and I went over a pass, but it was really steep, and I would have been suffering. But then I grabbed onto this truck, on a chain of the truck, and he pulled me all the way up the pass, and I could barely hold onto the chain. And then I was like riding as hard as I could and holding onto the chain so that I could still hold on to the chain, and I finally, I made it to the top of the pass, you know, and then I was like, thanks, dude. He's like, yeah. And we go down this crazy downhill, man, on the edge of the ocean. Whoosh. And then I saw this, but I must have been delirious. I think I was kind of sick because of the water. I think the water made me sick. And I was kind of delirious because these old people like filled up my water bottles. They're campers, just even though they were just in a camper van. But they filled up my water bottles, and then I was like, oh, look, the ocean. I'll camp near the ocean tonight. So I hiked my bike, but I hiked for like an hour and a half over rocks. Oh, my God. It was such a fucking ordeal. I should not have done that. And then I had a bath in the ocean. Don't do that. That won't make you clean. Then I cleaned my clothes in the ocean. Don't do that. That won't make those clean. And then I slept without my tent, but I was getting bitten by mosquitoes all night long. So I didn't get any sleep. So then the next day I hiked into this, and I could have stayed at a campsite that was just like a mile down the road, down the beach. And I heard a disco. I could have been partying all night. That was really stupid of me, man. And I met this American guy who had camped there for free, because the guy told him he could camp there for free, but I guess officially you can't camp there for free. But you can camp, maybe you have to pay or something, but no, you can camp on the beach for free, they said. So that's another cool thing about Albania, is you can camp on the beach or wherever you want for free. It's kind of like Scandinavia. And, you know, Albania is really cheap, and they have a fucked up history, and they do have fucked up political shit going on. But I felt really safe there, and I felt like they were really friendly. Like, all the Albanians, it's actually maybe the most impressive country I've ever been to, because every person I saw was like, hey, you, oh my God, hey, you know, so excited to see me. But I guess not many people go there, because I asked one guy, you know, for directions, is it this way or no, I said, you know, where can I buy some soap? And he's like, what are you doing in Albania, you know? So I guess not a lot of people go, and I guess people are afraid to go there because it's poor, and they think it's like dangerous. Because some lady was like, oh, I wasn't going to go there, but then I decided, so maybe it is. But I didn't feel like it was dangerous. But yeah, they're kind of stupid. I mean, because like the first day I went there, I didn't have any money. I had like barely any money, and they use a special kind of money, and there were these guys at some restaurant, and I was like, yeah, how much is this? How much is that? And they couldn't communicate how much it was, and it ended up being more than I thought. And I gave them all of my money, and I guess it turned out to be exactly how much it costed. But they did something where they pat their stomachs, and I was like, what are you doing? And so I just turned around and I walked away from them, and then they went in and got some guy who could speak English, another patron, and he goes, oh yeah, what they meant to say, because I guess they felt bad because they thought they offended me, because I was like, they were saying, did you like the food? By patting their stomach. Well, normally if you say, do you like the food, you rub the stomach, but they were doing this. And so there are lots of like weird mannerisms in Albania, and I guess maybe because they're like the original inhabitants of Europe along with the Greeks. And the Greeks have these same mannerisms as well, some of the Greeks, because this means no. Well, in America, this means yes. Hey, you go, hey, does it have it? Yeah.